Did I remember to update my stream information? Oh yeah, I did. Hooray! And the YouTube's live. Alright, well, hello everybody. I hope things are going well. I'm doing just dandy. Don't look at that. Don't worry about that. But yeah. Well, I don't really have anything too interesting to say. Aside from let's get into it, as it were, because I mean, hey, it's Blue. You know why I'm here. I know why you're here. Actually, I don't know why you're here. I don't really know why I'm here. You know, like a what's our purpose in this world kind of thing. But that's neither here nor there. And not what we're talking about. We're here. Hi, Lynn! We're here to gamble! But first, let's get our free 13 one. Well, they can't all be winners. And now, it's time for me to make liberal use of my... Actually, hold on. Let's do some quick math. I like math. Yeah, let's see here. So we've got... Let me break out my calculator. Also, hi. Yeah, exactly. Gamba. We're here to play. We're here to pull. Alright, so 32,288 lunacy divided by 130. Rounded down to the nearest whole number is 248 plus 23 plus 20. No, not plus. No, yeah, plus 20. Because that's 2 10 pulls. Okay, so we've got about 290 pulls in the tank. And we're gonna hope that Now, I'm no statistician, so I have absolutely no idea our collective odds, but I do know that I've got every ego. So, I believe, let me just double check here on our probabilities chart. We've got a 1.3% and a rate of all individual egos. Let's see here. So that's about a 1.3. So that's like 0.4, about like 0.43 repeating. That we get. Oh, yeah. Except just multiply that by 10. Because we don't have 3 of the egos in question. Huh? Oh, it's because it's the only one that's a WoW. I was like, huh? All right, well, we only need to get 3 egos, so here goes. Ooh, shiny objects. Hello. Oh, that was just Sinclair. I mean, we appreciate him showing up at least, but still. I would have preferred if it were the thumb. But either way, how are we? Oh! Yes! Oh, that's good. And look, it's double Greg. That's 2 whole Gregs. Anyway, another. Pull again. Give me more. Give me more. Jump scare me again, please. I'm begging you. I didn't even realize that it was a double big pull jump scare. Oh, this one's gonna be. I feel a dry spell. Who knows? Maybe not. Who knows? Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady tonight. Ooh. Oh, luck be a lady indeed. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's amazing. Oh, it's my favorite. Well, I don't know about my favorite, but it's very nice. It's very appealing. All right, 52 is not bad, not bad. Let's but you know, we should hold our tongue in case we need to. Why, hello. Oh, it's just another Greg. Listen, you've had your moment. You could go. Oh, it's all I've ever wanted, and it's all I'll ever know. This feels. Oh, that's nice. That's a lot. I like her sweater. I like the sweater. This is very nice. All right. Well, I thought that was gonna take a little longer, but looks like we got that in sterling 72 pulls, which admittedly is still a lot, but we really didn't dip too deep into our lunacy reserve. What's our you saying? Okay, I mean, we could get announcers. Oh no, I'm running away. Don't look. All right, let's just take a look here. Oh, hang on. Okay, we got the long glory future. However, walk across the dust, grasp the solitude, and forge on toward the faint and far luncheon. Oh, it's too fun. Oh, those are all my friends. Hey, friendship. Oh man, an inbox for friends. I love friendship. Come here, you. Everybody loves luncheon. Oh shoot, I might need to redo some. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna need to futz with some of these, aren't I? Let's just grab some Anchorfell and just put it in the module. Put the Anchorfell in the module. Don't worry about it. Don't look at it. Don't look. Avert your eyes. That one's testing. Don't look at him. Don't look. I beg of you. Now where is my rupture? Nope, that's not the right one. Testing / there it is. Alright, let's take a look at this ego. Dimension Shredder. Admittedly, I mean, Honglu doesn't really have a lot of contestants for he. Given that he's got, admittedly, Dimension Shredder is pretty darn nice. But, you know, with the load of Hongyuan, you know, you could use Tears of the Tarnished Blood freely. At least once, I think. And then there's Effervescent Corrosion. However, what if I just looked at the cool one? Oh no, I'm running out. I'm running out of thread. Oh no. Don't worry, we've got, you know, we're coming to the thread exchange. Actually, wait, no, hold on. Do I have Well, could always throw Gregor into the blender. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Greg. Oh, my poor boy. Yeah, Garden of Thorns? Pfft, whatever. Unbrilliant Glory? Yeah, that's much better. Oh, and both of his WoW egos, he's got the longer hair. That's nice. What is this? Oh, red spot. Alright, let's get it on. Let's get that thread spinning rolling. Oh, it's so nice. And I mean, look at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. What a handsome horse. Fox, man. I think he's a horse. At least, that's what context clues are telling me. Or he has a stand that is a horse. Or he's the horse's stand. That's a great question. So let's take a look at that man in Scabbard. All right, what does this do? What do you do? For every stack divided by 20, gain 1 protection, max 2. Wow, yeah, I can't believe it. It's rounded down. Oh, that's gross. Oh, gains 10 stacks at turn end. Okay. Can gain up to 20 per turn. Okay. Right. Ooh, gain 1 for every 3 HP damage. Gain 1, gain 20. And unit is staggered. It has 40. Fix, ooh, 2 for the turn and recover from stagger once per encounter unless it's a forced stagger. That's nice. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of coin. Incandescence. Ooh. Ooh. External effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused. They're onto us. They're onto us. They hate us. They hate us. Us rusty commemorative coin enjoyers. How could this be? Can I blame them? No, not really. Alright, let's see. Will this be enough to dethrone the queen? Let's take a look. Well, I mean, it is sloth. Heal self. Ooh, if unit is at max HP, heal 2 other allies. And that's only a threat spin 1. Oh, it's just so pretty. I just like it. I really like the look of it. I'm a sucker for, you know, green monsters. Don't know if I like the fatal. I don't know if I like your resistances, mind you. But that's neither here nor there. Alright, so what do you do if you're... Ooh! Okay, but where do we get hardened shell barrier? Fun. Don't know what that does. Barrier protection. Turn in, lose 3 stacks, max stack of 10, but then it also increases its maximum cap by blah, 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 blah. Interesting. Power plus 3. This one has a, what is that, 16? What are you rolling? Oh, it's 14. Oh. How much juice do I have in that? Do I have any boxes left? Oh, I spent them all. I never should have spent them all. Oh no, what a world. Alright, let's go take a look. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, right, and of course, if you'd like, there's the friend code. I don't know if you can read that very well, but here's this. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a luncheon enjoyer. Speaking of which, though, I did have a pretty darn good lunch. I had a torta from a food truck that wanders around. Ooh. Oh. Clearing via hard difficulty stages will automatically clear the corresponding normal difficulty stages as well. Level 55. Oh, it's level 55 just to start. Oh, but this one probably. Okay, wait, hold on. This one probably cannot deploy. Let's see. Now, does that automatically tear him up to? Okay, yeah, okay. So everybody gets to be up to 50, yada yada yada. Whereas this one is, we're doing it for real. We're hitting it on hard mode. Don't worry about it. Send in the Lord of Hong Yuan. And friends. A little strange though that I've only got the 2. Actually, we'll just reorganize that so that I can make use of my favorite horse. Now I'm not sure if this one's I think it's voiced. I hope it's voiced. I was exploring the Lobotomy Corporation branch when my consciousness sinks into the depths. Sense of cognition itself, a concept without form, floats into the shadow of an ever-widening river, swept up in its currents to nowhere. And we ran into an abnormality. But Sod told us that Hong Yuan's Lobotomy Corp branch should be free of any abnormalities. The abnormality, which had appeared out of nowhere, was more otherworldly than we had encountered so far in our journey, and deep blue. It was fathomlessly blue and seemed to have a pull that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall this abnormality, a myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thoughts crashed into my mind like wild waves before ebbing away from its shores. I was already lost and adrift somewhere within my own consciousness when I realized this. How long am I going to be adrift? The sensation of my own consciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I floated about in that strange state for a while. Eh. An unfamiliar voice seizes my aimlessly drifting consciousness. Are you Dante? Ah, I thought this was gonna be voiced. What a world! The fog of my vision clears as the voice breaks through the waves, and a concerned expression comes into view. Oh my god, it's Virgilius, except he's a lot shorter and blue. Oh, what a relief. Gregor, I think Dante has come too. So who are... I was about to ask further questions to this stranger with particularly long animal-like ears, but... I felt the drowsiness coursing back with the terrifying memories of the dream, rendering me unable to speak. I still think it's really funny that... what is it? What do they call the blue star? I just can't recall. Oh wait, hold on. Somebody's trying to get my attention. After an indeterminate amount of time had passed, I barely managed to wake myself from slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliarity. There was that stranger from earlier sitting atop a rock and silently taking in the sights, a young girl who probably saved my life. Wait, so were those animal ears after all? Okay, that's not important right now. I have to prioritize figuring out just where in the world I ended up in. So we're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay otherwise. Iberia, huh? Yes, we're in Iberia. Well, given that we're next to an ocean, maybe I drifted all the way to U-Corp's Great Lake? Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that was all I had to go on, given that the city was still full of more unknowns than knowns to me. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. I see. Wait, my colleagues? You must have run into the sinners then? The fog of my mind immediately clears as soon as I realize that the sinners were all nowhere to be seen. Sinners? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were looking all over the place for someone with a clock for their head. It's a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clock head does come in handy. Manager, bud. Dante! I had woken up in an unfamiliar place to an unfamiliar face, and in the midst of this all-around sense of displacement, the faces that appeared before me were certainly a sight for sore eyes. Gregor, Honglu! Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and whew, I came as fast as I could, and oh boy, I was worried that something might have happened. Glad to see you're doing fine. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine, though. I guess not having any way to drink water's finally come in handy. You should go get that checked out, just in case. Wait, your head's waterproof, right? Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing, and mutters a casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem that concerned. Maybe we're not actually in that much danger. So, what happened? Where are we? You remember entering that lobotomy corporation French Chichun told us about? Yeah? Yeah, we ran into a new abnormality and then got sucked into it before we even had the chance to do anything. Ugh. Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially with you getting sucked in there too, Manager Bud. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces down in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch, though there was quite the mess when we realized that you'd gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we are. So we're not at U-Corp's Great Lake? Some of us considered that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ishmael was certain that we were not in District 21. You did concede that we might be in an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either, given what the rabbit-eared lady there said. The outskirts region of the Great Lake. I've met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I've never met anyone who referred to the Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? I found myself puzzled by these unfamiliar terms. A very obvious question suddenly struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Really? You fellas haven't introduced yourselves to each other yet? It's just that it's just a lot to take in. It's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. She is, Actually, would you like to do the honors yourself? I'm Amiya, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please, just call me Amiya. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that this rodeo... It seems like this Rodeo Island's a pretty big corporation, but... Anyway, Picker trails off ominously and scratches his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, there aren't any organizations in Terra with the same characteristics as the ones Mr. Gregor explained, at least not with a name like the Head. Also, sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Gregor's kind of bad with names. So, what you're saying is that we're not in the city anymore? It'd be weird for any higher-ups at these huge corporations to know less about the Head than we do, let alone be completely clueless about it. Well, maybe we've tumbled into a previously undiscovered zone of the outskirts of the ruins. Probably. Ow. Or maybe we found ourselves in a completely different world. Hey. Their conjecture is correct. We're in way bigger trouble than I thought. This wasn't like the time we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts via a door in the corridor. Amiya stared at me with some concern, as though she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes, recently anomalous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared at sea. And it's been said that this dimensional door is connected to something very, very distant. Something that we've never observed before, so... Seems reasonable to theorize that the dimensional door is how we managed to cross over to this world. I really would have appreciated Mouse input. Where'd all the other sinners go anyway? Bit late on the uptake to be gawking around for the other sinners now, don't you think? They're at a settlement near here, where they're all helping out with various odds and ends of the village. Well, taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be to search for someone when we're like fish out of water, too. And barely even got a wink of sleep since yesterday. Everyone's got to be really tired then. So it's just you two out here for now? No, Ishmael and Yusang are the other half of the search party. And we just happen to be the last group in the rotation. They must be searching elsewhere to find you, Manager Bud. We got the news early thanks to Amiya's comms gear, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team, well, we don't have any way to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until their shift is done. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about that village you mentioned earlier? Uh-huh. Right. You've not been there yet, huh? I guess it's a bit off the beaten path. Well, we're gonna have to rendezvous with the other sinners anyway, so let's head to the village for now. Something seemed to pique Amiya's interest as she fell into a contemplative silence before carefully speaking up. Oh, hold on, give me just a moment. Oh, that's nasty. Sorry. I'd like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see why not. You helped us find Manager Bud, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. I don't actually know Iberia that well either, but I should be able to be of some help. Where are we? They've closed their borders and have practically locked down any foreign influences from affecting them, but I did get a briefing before the mission. Closed borders, huh? And how did you get in, Miss Amia? We followed Dr. Kalstit's directions and illegally crossed the country border. Illegally? Oh no! Oh. Does that mean you crossed the border without obtaining any permission, Amia? We had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Is it normal for pharmaceutical companies to be doing that? Large pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Island is, in its essence, a pharmaceutical company researching treatments for people infected with oropathy. But we also work to prevent and assist in the management of various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. High-risk areas, huh? Huh. Hey, what about your companions? I doubt you came all the way here on your own. That's, we were forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! Mia's ears twitched as she came to a stop and began scanning the surrounding area. Are you sure those aren't donkey ears? There. As we stood about confused, Amia, noticing something, pointed toward the seashore hidden behind large and cragged rock formations. What are we supposed to... Huh? There we saw someone wielding a lengthy greatsword, bickering with two familiar faces. Again, move. You're in the way. You needn't worry as you do. We have had ample experience battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried. It's... Come on, better to have 3 fighters than 1, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so we've got a lot of questions to ask. Isang! Ishmael! Dante! You're unharmed! And here I was getting ready for a 3 days long search. What a relief. We were really worried that we might never be able to find you. We managed to find them thanks to help from Miss Amia here. Mia? Huh? Are you two acquainted? Sorry, my nose is a little stuffed. Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait till after we take out the sea monsters. Scotty, are those organisms the Seaborns Dr. Kalstit mentioned? They're sea terrors, to be specific, the less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terrors? I hear that sticky noise of something viscous slithering against the rocks. When I turn to face the origin of the unsettling noise, I smell the heavy, wet scent of brine. Oh! Oh god! At the end of my gaze awaits strange monsters, unlike distortions, unlike abnormalities, unlike anything I've ever seen. It's as though the sea itself is encroaching on the land. I was almost certain we weren't at the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Her experiences with the thick scent of brine at the Great Lake must have put her in a weary mood. Ishmael seemed to be a lot more apprehensive about these monsters than anyone else. You think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. Great Lake and the outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries after all. Dante, what do your senses say? It's unclear. I'd say the closest comparison I could make is with the whales, but even that's not conclusive. Huh. More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Doesn't seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So let's take them out. Kill! Kill! Send in the goons! Oh! Amazing. Alright, let's see. Well, let's take a look at hints. Do they have hints? Turn off the hints. Oh my god. Be concerned. Read this. Alright, let's see it. And on top of Nether Sea Brand. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Unfortunately for you, I don't care. Goodbye. Wow. You know, I'll be honest, is that I don't think in all my years I ever would have borne witness to like, actual well, I suppose actually no, because then the Library of Ruina got a Japanese dub. I guess it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, just a bit. Not what I anticipated. Seedless today. Oh no! Oh, poor Gregor. Don't worry, he'll get him someday. Where's Faust? Where did she go? Oh yeah, oh, none of these guys are getting out of here. Though I am saying, I still think that, what's the word? Oh, I've misplaced my train of thought, hold on. I still think that Heisho Ishmael is probably, a very real possibility. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh, another cavalry vanguard charge? Do I hear a third? No, never mind. This is gonna be the end. The horse! Oh, I love my... Ah! Ah, that's nice! Ah, that's nice. Our remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Yeah. Didn't think I'd have to deal with anything remotely like this outside the Great Lake. You could say that again. It would have taken us the whole day if that Scotty character didn't occupy the other half while Miss Rabbit helped us from a distance. We were catching our breath after the battle. I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at its source, I saw Scotty glaring at me with palpable alarm. Strange people who transform. And a head of a clock? Sorry, and a head of clock? I guess they're both technically true. Well, it's nothing more than a theory at this point. I think they have a lot to do with the dimensional door we're supposed to be investigating. Nice to meet you, I guess? I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, that's because only us sinners can hear Dante's voice. Huh? Hmm? What's up? No, I'm just wondering how Miss Amiya can seemingly understand Dante. Yeah, what's going on there? Oh yeah, it completely threw over my head that I didn't even question how weird this is. Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me, too, but I don't know, it's almost like I can sense what they're trying to say, what kind of emotion they're trying to convey. Her explanation reminded me of the blue boy in Sinclair's past, but I didn't quite feel the uncanny sensation from Amiya that I felt from them. So she can read me kind of like how Virgilius can, I guess? Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's true, it's been a bit of a hassle to always need Faust or Honglu to translate for you, Dante. I'd like to know how exactly she can understand Dante, but I don't think we've got the luxury of time to sit down and figure this out. So, we're heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. She said she'd help us find our way back. I'm glad to be working with you two also, Miss Ishmael, Mr. Honglu. Took the words right out of my mouth. You've already helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about... Did she just call poor Yusang Honglu? This journey is long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise. How long's the journey? No idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. I do know that it's not very far, though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. Scotty quietly points in my direction. Oh, Dante can't tell us the time because they're not on time. And why the clock head? I didn't exactly choose to get myself a clock-shaped head. It's for aesthetics. I looked away from Scotty's inquisitive eyes, which were quite solidly fixed on my head. Coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in this world, but they thrive at places that meet the ocean. How did people manage to build a village at a place like this? Monsters are called seaborns, who are sea terrors, yes? While it is true they pose certain difficulties, they were hardly the kind of monsters with the strength to bring scourge and drive out the local populace. Don't judge them based on that brief skirmish. She's just telling us to be on our guard, right? Scotty can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures being out there. Scotty's concern only served to fan my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated that I probably shouldn't pry, so I quietly quickened my pace as we walked to the village.
마침내 굴레 하나를 끊었어. 두려움 없이 나아갈 수 있는 아씨가 그리.
Oh, and I get both! Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's very, very nice. Let's take a look at. So I need only to complete like. Hang on. Math.
온 몸에 피를 묻혀가며 쉼 없이 달리고 있으니.
Now that Mr. Horsang is done with his monologue, yeah, I think we got it. Ooh, and look at that. Oh, we can't see it. But either way, we continue on so that we can get even more EX things. This hardly looks like a village. It's more like the ruins of one, isn't it? Doesn't seem like they've done any proper upkeep to the place. Not in a while, at least. They're really here, living together. Strange buildings tell the stories of former prosperity from a bygone era. Parro Muerto, I think is probably dead town. Our steps leave no footprints on the wet, muddy ground, and I see a rotting sign marked with the name Parro Muerto. Parro Muerto. Everywhere I look in this village, I see evidence of long, silent abandonment. I don't see these kinds of abandoned-looking ruins often in the city either. Well, yeah, there's always someone or something out there waiting to capitalize on that free real estate. Be it a syndicate or a corporation, and fix it up. Better than this, at least. So where are the centers? There's a clearing down there where we were entrapped betwixt. We were entrapped betwixt a twain of great ships narrowing winds against our sail. Oh. And that is when young Ishmael boomed, her command most resonant. Say no more. I didn't even have to try to search for them, that unmistakably sonorous and familiar voice echoing triumphantly between the empty buildings. That's Don Quixote's voice when she's sharing her adventurous tales. There she was, standing atop a low podium like an actor on a stage, regaling a group of people in rags with tales of our adventures like a traveling thespian. Answers, ye dogs! Oarsmen! 'Tis the moment! I, Ishmael, the first mate of the vessel Mephistopheles, shall have a... Ha! Stop! Hold on! Just what do you think you're doing? Young Ishmael, unhand my mouth, for I was just about to regale them with the most fantastic tale of adventures at the Great Lake. Manager Esquire! Surely thou hast returned with Manager Esquire safely in tow? What? They found Clockhead? A burning clock for a head. When I was a child, I heard a story about a legendary Sarkaz with a flaming head. How would someone like that visit our humble village? While their exterior may carry elements that inspire fear in some, there is no cause for alarm. Yeah, they might look like that, but they're Dante, our manager, and the rest are... Oh, hello. Oh, I'm sorry, who are you two? They're two very nice people who helped us find Dante. This is Miss Amia, leader of Rhodes Island. And this is Miss Scotty, their operator. They'll be coming along with us for a little while. Eh? With us? We believe that the dimensional door, which we at Rhodes Island are investigating, has something to do with why you suddenly woke up here in Iberia. as Amia was bringing the sinners up to speed. Ah! The villagers, who were staring at us curiously, approached us. Our conversation managed to convince them that we're not a threat. I sure hope so. Ah, you're friends of our saviors. Saviors? Verily, 'tis quite the grand title. Yet, that is indeed the word by which we addressed. To be more precise, by saviors, they are referring only to Faust and Altus. Faust gave me a light nod when we made eye contact, but I could tell that her lips were drawing a very, very subtle smiling arc. So I'm guessing something did happen. They were quite mistrustful upon our initial arrival. What business do outsiders have here? What if they're from the Inquisition? Oh no, what do we do after all we went through to get here? Calm yourselves, everyone. None of them are carrying what appears to be their scriptures or lamps. Let's first try to see who they are. I don't think they're going to trust us anytime soon. All old curmudgeons. STNC, then PTSD. Alright, Sinclair. You can't do that, Ryoshi. We can't pillage their storage depots. Looks like they already have it hard enough as is. I don't think STNC is a good way to get started either. Can we just find help elsewhere? Just look how thin their arms are. I don't think they're in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire as to our whereabouts ere we are to decide our lodging. Well, the landscape is certainly reminiscent of U-Corps. I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looks like this, though I can't say I've been to every corner of U-Corp. I ask again, what business do outsiders have here? Fingers are tightening around the grips of their weapons. Prolonged silence will most likely turn this into a hostile encounter. We can't have that. Hi, we're from Limbus Company, we're fixers of justice! Yeah, that. Fixers of Oi! You know when to keep it down. Fixers? That over there, it's a ship blueprint, isn't it? You're looking to repair a vessel by any chance? All these construction materials seem to suggest so. Chief? This does not concern you. It's not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious. Never seen an energy source like this before. Have you run the tests to rule out any stability issues? It seems to power the heat exchanger via some method comparable to the utilization of fusion energy. Have you any thoughts on this, Miss Faust? The general design structure is somewhat old-fashioned, but there certainly are inspired parts to this design, particularly with the usage of the core energy source. While stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. You identified all that merely by glancing at this blueprint? Must be the village chief, then? If so, I have a proposition for you. Oh, I like that evil smirk. In return for assisting in their ship repair, we were promised a ride on their vessel. Miss Faust has theorized that perhaps, by going out to sea, we may be able to find a way to return whence we came. Does that mean we can find a way back somewhere out there in the sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. At this moment, we are working based on a hunch. A hunch. Sensing the implicit omen in her choice of words, I slowly turned around to look at Faust, who nodded solemnly in response. If we're really in a different world, even her Gesellschaft has to be. No issues were encountered in the repair process. Faust smiles faintly as she looks around, then she pulls me in by my hems. She whispers in a low voice, "Oh my." Connection to Gesellschaft is currently operating at a suboptimal level, Dante. So it's still connected at least? Indeed, it is. However, even exchanges of simple information are taking up to dozens of hours by current calculations. Is this a warp train situation because we're in a different dimension? The cost should be identical. We have been connected to an unidentified, unpredictable dimension. However, Faust is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is yet to close this time, unlike the situation back aboard the warp train. So to get back to where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. And from that you came up with the whole plan to repair the ship and sail out to the sea? Yes, well, I am also a genius after all. I made a conjecture that we probably came through a dimensional door of sorts. Looks like that dimensional door might be what Faust is looking for. With high likelihood, yes. At least there's a way back. I find myself calming down a little. Oh, speaking of which, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As fortune should have it, a majority of the most time-consuming parts of the repair have already been completed by the locals. It shouldn't take us more than a day or two to get its core parts ship-shape again, Executive Manager. We'll be staying here a few more days then. How did you manage last night? Well, like I said earlier, we've been keeping ourselves busy by looking for you this whole time. We took turns helping with the repairs and resting, but I doubt any of us got a proper night's rest. Still, we weren't cold, thanks to the villagers who kept the fire going for us all night. Not to mention how they helped us a ton with that local map they drew us. Oh, also, Chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? That looks like a sack to collect water. Give it here. I know how to get that installed. Must be to repay Miss Faust and Miss Otis' efforts at repairing their ship, yet the service they provide us is certainly quite generous, even when taking the transactional nature into account. They're really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Raja keeps in her pockets. They don't eat into their food supply when they're pretty tight, you know? She carries enough cookies and bread for 12 people. They did offer us some nosh, these dried fish things, but we refused. I ain't about taking food from the needy. No need to concern yourself so much with our hospitality. You've done more than enough to earn your keep. I turned around at the source of that low, rumbling voice. Oh, that's the opposite of what I've been doing. And saw an old man in an outfit that seemed to distinguish itself amongst the other villagers. There you are, Chief. Is this the place for us to stay the night? We do have places to shelter from the misty humidity, at the very least. There's an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for the night. Oh, are you sure? I mean, I don't mind sleeping in the streets myself. Oh, my boy. Hey, speak for yourself. I've been looking forward to sleeping with a roof over my head since, like, yesterday. Catch cold sleeping in the elements in this environment, which is fine by me for the rest of you, but we cannot afford to have the executive manager or our honored guests suffer that fate. Oh, honored guests! Yes, I heard what happened from the four who left in search of the executive manager. First, I would like to begin by imparting my infinite gratitude to you for finding and rescuing the executive manager. I hear that you are a leader at a pharmaceutical company. This acquaintance shall certainly come in handy, in case our stay becomes significantly prolonged. I'm just surprised by her boldness to say something so materialistic when they're standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, Chief? The village chief took a brief glance at the hems by her right wrists, then nodded. Welcome to Faro Muerto. You are welcome to stay for as long as you want. And please, do let me know if you find yourselves without food. Our food supply might be tight indeed, but we have enough to share with those who help prepare the vessel. Oh! You better not go back on your word later. I wonder what kind of local delicacies await. Delicacies, there we go. Dried fish like they were eaten earlier, maybe? Hey, Chief. What is it? How are you surviving out here, by the sea? Perhaps the question of how we are surviving might be somewhat misdirected. For we are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. Chief responds to Scotty's perceived hostility with a hearty smile. After leaving some firewood for the night, he left. I'm going. Can't learn much more from here. Huh? You going somewhere at this hour? Scotty, does this have something to do with the coast? I remember what you said before we got to the village. Something about how coasts are hardly good places to live in. Dante wants to know if this has something to do with the coast. Do you understand the Ahir language? Ahir? No? Dante, Scotty just spoke in Hegirian. I couldn't understand a word of Scotty in the Chief's conversation because I don't speak Hegirian. It may be only that there were enough lexical similarity between one of the city's languages and the language Scotty spoke it and for them to comprehend the meaning. Weird coincidence. Anyway, I have some things to look into. Something you're all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember, you're not on a solo mission, Scotty. This is a team effort from Rhodes Island. Will do. Scotty nodded lightly before leaping off into the night, out of our sights. I'm kind of worried. She's not the best with people, but she's also pretty thoughtful. She'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Oh yeah, we can probably just pick an unlit building and stay the night there, right? Trying our best to ignore the mood that was starting to turn awkward, we made our way into a nearby unoccupied building. Please claim your progress wards ahead of time, as they will become unavailable after the event is over. Terra. Ah! We walked past a few narrow buildings and remnants of narrow buildings before we came across a hall large enough to house all 15 or so of us. Okay, now we're ready. With the curtains on the window removed, the smoke has an exit. I thought we were doomed to shudder ourselves to sleep with the soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that'd work. We just have to get a small fire going underneath it until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside being all this smoke. It's clear that she has some field experience, unlike some fools I know. I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Roger, for I shall conjure thee a pot of special fixer soup. Making soup with cookies and jelly? No! 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 You are not getting anywhere near the kitchen again! Not after what you cooked up last time! I must admit to a certain level of interest. As many of our fellows Vissa are oft racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of your making, perhaps it would be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right! Don't you remember? We agreed to leave cooking to Mayor Orti if we were ever in a situation like this, remember? Did we? I think it's become a sort of unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember, back during last year's cooking contest at Cake Court, where they were the only two people who managed to get remotely positive reviews? Oh, does that mean we'll get to try Altus's cooking once again? Denied. We still have plenty of high-calorie foods like cookies and jelly here. I find no reason to do something so inefficient. Oh no, little German boy, you're going to be eating cookies and jelly, and that's it for dinner. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic given the circumstances. It can't be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. Well, we're all quite used to getting thrown into unfamiliar places. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Amiya? She shook her head, concerned. They might have lost their comms devices, or maybe they ran into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. The doctor, Dr. Kostic, they're both more than capable enough to look after themselves. Long have this curiosity lingered within me. Thus, allow me to inquire. Corporations are by their nature organizations in pursuit of profit. Yet the activities of your corporation resemble those of charity organizations as opposed to a pharmaceutical company. Is there aught that might explicate this blurred distinction? I wanted to know too. How come a pharmaceutical company like Rhodes Island's helping people? Something about what Honglu said brings back unpleasant memories. The horrible experiments seen through the cascade of flowing tears in the face of suffering. The embodiment of greed that left a terrible wound in Honglu's fathoms. Pharmaceutical companies I've seen in my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, chose to obsess over the profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you. It spreads deeper and deeper into the infected's internal organs, eventually culminating in their death. Called oropathy. Amiya showed me the back of her right hand dotted by what appeared to be obsidian crystallizations. Its appearance reminded me of the biotreatments from the back streets, but there was something more to it, something more restless, more sinister. It's a terrible, painful disease, but there haven't been any recorded cases of full recovery. But there's an even worse problem. Oh, pray tell, what could possibly be worse than an incurable deadly disease? While it varies region by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra. Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. Sang began with a dark expression. Some were quarantined in places with terrible, inhumane conditions, and there have been massacres too. I don't mean to be callous, but is this oropathy highly contagious? No. There have not been any recorded cases of infection by contact as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal growths on their body decay and turn to dust, scattering, which is what spreads the plague. And barring environments like active battlefields where casualties are to be expected, staying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? They're already past the point of caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out the window. And Rhodes Island's goal has to be, yes, it is important to develop a cure for oropathy, but I think what really matters is we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. It's not going to be an easy endeavor, though that is what gives your effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Amiya. I really do. Oh, truth. City, this world, we both live in worlds full of surprises, don't we? What kind of world did you come from, this city? What kind of place is the city, anyway? Kind of place with too many pointless rules. Kind of place where the moment you think, isn't this too much, you see something even worse. As I might, I couldn't think of a single positive thing about the city. Sinners seem to be in agreement, as most of what came after was quite scathing. Kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go unpunished, where sympathy's a good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out there. It's a shithole. I don't like it. It's an irrational place full of absurdities. Absurdity is an omnipresence. Therefore, it is not a subject by which one should be aggrieved. We can at least grouse about them, though. I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It would be more correct to experience more and acclimatize oneself to it instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Just as the mood was starting to turn rather sour, Don Quixote's shout shattered through the awkwardness. Verily, nary a day goeth by untarnished... Nary a day goeth by, untarnished by villains and their foul deeds. Yet worry thee not, for where evil riseth, so doth fixers of justice to... Don Quixote jumped from her seat and passionately shook her fist, which was followed by a heavy crack and the sound of small pebbles tumbling down. Don Quixote, watch out! Whoa! And from behind the walls, she accidentally broke down. An unfamiliar visage of a villager appeared and stared back at Don Quixote. It appeared she was eating something out of a can while reading a book. Oh! How far? Hi, how are you? Where is thy foot? You gotta apologize first. Oh, I seemed a bit too hyper today. Apologies, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Are thou unhurt? Any injuries? Who? Who? Pray tell, to what? The apology. I just want to know what happens next. The fixers of justice rose up to do what? Oh! Oh! Hast thou come to hear me? Hast thou come to me to hear the tale of fixers? Man, I cannot read today. I don't know about coming dusk, given how Miss Don Quixote was the one who punched the wall down. Was it too late now? I don't mind waiting till morning if you want to sleep. Nay, not at all. 'Tis quite early an hour for tales. In fact, prithee, sit thyself here. You ungovernable fool. Calm down. We don't even know who she is. Don't you forget to share those fixer tales over there in the corner to not disturb our sleep. Thou makest a request most untenable. These tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kinds of stories, but we should probably introduce ourselves to each other first. Name's Mayers. How should I put this? Did you meet the village chief earlier during the day? He's my Gramps. Oh, that nice guy. So he had a granddaughter. And I have not seen you once, Miss Mayers, under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dried of any young blood. Like Rogia said, while we didn't see Mayers out there, there wasn't anyone else in the village who could comfortably call young. Telling me Gramps was worrying over nothing. And told me to stay put inside. Going on and on about the dangers that the outsiders pose and everything. Seems that they do not give full faith to their saviors. There are things you cannot share even with those whom you trust with your life. Though I would like to know why. My. So there are a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors in this village? No. There isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, I can guess why he'd be overprotective. Anyways, it's our turn. Are we? No, we are. I'm good. I heard enough to get an idea. You did? Oh? Pray, how didst thou hear us? Via listening device most secret upon our chamber? Mares tapped the side of the wall, the part of it that was still standing. Anyway, and smiled ironically. Bad soundproofing. I could hear pretty much everything through it. Don Quixote, right? Everything Don Quixote practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. I think he could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess that's good enough for self-introduction, so... You care to regale me with the tale of fixers who bring justice to the evils of the city? Indubitably, then, this shall do. I shall regale thee with the tale in which the legendary fixer, the Magnificence herself, the Red Mist, hath... I suppose that's shield any hope for a good night's kip. But, don't you usually pass out within a minute of your back hitting the hay, no matter how noisy things are? What? You take me for some kind of hibernating bear or something? Look, even I have trouble sleeping when all there's noise all... I'd say bear in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. For all that grumbling and moaning, he dozed off before any of us did. Aside from Heathcliff, who began snoring the moment his head touched the ground, some other sitters were fast asleep as well. Massol had entered sleep in his usual steadfast adherence to the routine, while Faust laid calm to one of the few available cloth sheets as soon as the close of business of the day was confirmed. The sitters who had spent the entire last night searching for me in this unfamiliar land slowly began to fall asleep as well. Meanwhile, the fixer of the Zwei Association's first section. Though the night was no longer young, Don Quixote was still vigorously sharing the tales of adventures without even a single sign of fatigue. She's not determined to do this until sunrise, is she? Oh. I guess it's okay since Mares seems to be having fun. As I continued to watch the pair with some mild concern, Mia, not yet asleep, approached me. This city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales of adventure. Do you actually experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually those of other famous people. But she's telling him with such vigor that it almost sounds like she was there herself. I guess if you really want to get into it, some of them might be retellings of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Ishmael replied uncertainly, thinking back to the plays we were made to watch back in La Mancha land. Well, I think all those stories, even though they're only partially true, just go to show what a ridiculous place it can be. We would need fixers of justice to begin with if we really lived in a just world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful without someone having to force it. That's true. I hope there'll come a day when Rhodes Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company in the future. Something wrong? No, I just thought Miss Mares and I made eye contact. Did you overhear our conversation? I looked in her direction as well, but all I saw was Mares excitedly reacting to Don Quixote's tales. Well, what happened then? Thus spake Lady Otis boldly before the soldiers who stood in our path. Thou presumest to stand in our path, servants of a master most unworthy? I, Otis, shall educate ye on how manner maketh... Don Quixote was now retelling the stories of Limbus Company's adventures in Hung Yuan, and Otis, who could no longer stand Don Quixote's unintentional alterations of the story, jumped to her feet and shouted, Heaven, what kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that. Verily, certain aspects of this retelling may have been exaggerated. That's tales of adventure for you. Things are bound to get a bit dry when a story is told too realistically and as is, right? You know, nothing, not even anything resembling a proper record or a book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. I've always had a craving about these kinds of stories. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberians from emigrating. Contrary to their tight immigration control. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? It's still a challenge to cross the border, especially when we're going to have to pass through larger cities that are managed by the Inquisition. I don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that? Because this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisition's rule and fled. Sorry, but what kind of organization is this Inquisition? Uh-oh. Sinclair asked, face turning cold upon hearing the word Inquisition, and that people fled from it. Yeah, the Nagel and Hammer we saw back at Clow aren't the kind of memories that are so easily forgotten. According to Dr. Kalstedt, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum when Siberia fell into chaos. That its inquisitors are the rapier and lamp-wielding protectors of Iberia City from lawlessness. That alone kind of makes them sound like good people, though. Yeah, they are, but there's the Church of the Deep. The Inquisition will go to whatever lengths to deal with incidents related to the church that worships Seaborns. Ah! An organization that worships those monsters? It seems that the cultish fanaticism is a plague wherever we go. I feel like people with all kinds of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common. Yeah. See, the Seaborns are the ones that messed Iberia up. So following their logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seems even remotely connected to them. Are you saying that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborns? Those things from earlier. I guess they're kind of troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem that strong. Anyways, it's just what I heard from Gramps, but the Inquisition executed many innocent people too in their crusade against the Church of the Deep. For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond of committing such villainy. Seems like a reasonable policy decision to me. But it must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilians. Yeah, I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died. Must have had to endure such a long period of pain. Be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, they are heroes who will bring the land back to its glory days, but to Gramps, they were just oppressors making his life difficult. That's why we've all come here, fleeing from the Inquisition's gaze. Yet wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so, run down? Indeed. Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path. Thanks to you guys. A new path? Well, it's getting late. Will you be repairing the ship tomorrow, too? The place really has no soundproofing at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Hope we'll get another chance to do this tomorrow, too. After seeing Maris to her own room, the other sinners, those who were still up anyway, and I laid ourselves on the hard stone floor with only a thin layer of cloth between it and our backs. A mysterious world that is neither the city nor the outskirts. But it seemed that the lives its people led were just as difficult as they were anywhere else. Oh boy, more fighting. That's 3 on 14. That's not bad. Still one. Alright. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll just have to see if we get that. Oh yeah, send in the everyone. So first, Lord of Hongyuan, then of course Faust. Let's see here. Maybe actually, yeah, we'll do it this way. And then I like having Rogia up there, and then probably...
이제야 분명을 받듭니다.
Yeah, that'll work. This'll do just fine. It's so big! Amazing. I didn't know there were remaining vessels of this class in Iberia. I spy her name here. It is called the Rebellion de la Massa. Rebellion de la Massa? Revolt of the Masses, is it? Name very much mild in peculiarity indeed. Uncle chimed in that he was rather fond of it, with its size being about the same as the boat from his home, while Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or the Indigo Elder's skiff. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mephi's size at most. Are you sure you can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs had already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concerns a few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis's confident declaration, I could not help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me that we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience at the Great Lake was enough. Ah. Oh. Oh. Don't worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gear, propeller, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephistopheles. You seem confident enough. It should be safe this time round, right? Are we taking that rope to climb up to the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us up to the ship. Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us board the lift. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, are you two just gonna faff about down here? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge. Wait. What? What's wrong? Alright, hold on. I was greeted by the extravagant interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. This isn't real gold, is it? You're as shiny as heck in here. I got butterflies in my stomach. Yes. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious. Not quite my style. Our young Mephi is also quite the excellent vessel, yet imagine adventures we could embark on aboard this vessel most lavishly decorated. As Faust and Autus were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. Must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts, but it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates updating in real time, it seems. Coordinates seem to have been set somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small islet? No islet there. Ah! Blimey, lads, you sure know how to sneak up on people. Mares? Oh, what? Did I actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Well, I didn't know you'd be here. Where are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath those coordinates, collectively known as Aegir. Gramps' home. I see. Understood. Huh? What was understood, if I may ask? It is now understood why the promise to repair the ship was sufficient to earn their trust and the title of saviors. What's she on about? Someone get translating? Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statements of the village chief, alongside information garnered from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance of this ship's repair as to the local populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections that poses a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend, to employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in a more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. Lower the baton, I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering which smart ass would start gabbing like that again. What's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation of the village seemed to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of dried food, most of them made for long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about how the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either. Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Faro Muerto? The villagers were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly that formidable, but given the state the villagers were in, I doubt they'd have an easy time repelling those monsters. Indeed, and that brings us to the question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The lass and her granddad are about to visit their hometown, and they're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers. And, to convince them, they're planning to use the fact they're from the same neck of the woods, or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we're repairing their food supply plan, too. Oh, what's wrong? The expression was rather crude. Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The sinners stared at him with mild surprise. And I did, too. What's with them annoying looks? Oh, wait. Oh, you sods. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition has always been excellent, and he'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for ha! I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here! You know, those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Aldous looks away from the usual chaos and asks Mares. Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But the Aesir will. I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others too? Unlike Mares or Sheaf, they're not Aesir. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aesir for no other reason than that we're from the sea, but our homes cannot have fallen so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the Aesir are? I had initially thought it to be a reference to a region, yet it also seems to refer to an affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's something like nest dwellers, though I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts backstreets people with open arms. Maybe they used to be some rich folk? If they call them nest toffs Aesir, then does that make that rabbit-eared lass Aesir too? What in the world? Do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw them in the Fathoms, there were those terrifying things called the cuckoo spawns. However, as a general rule, it can be said that humans should be the only intelligent life forms in the city. People of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on their race, like my Katus ears. And I've got pointed ears because I'm an Aesir, though it's not a characteristic every Aesir shares. Closest idea to what they are discussing appear to be, Don Quixote seemed to be struggling to finish her sentence. Mesol stepped in to continue. By context clues and the manner of word usage, including the means of classification, the closest example in our world would be blood fiends. Similar external appearances to humans, different natures. Comparable sapiens. 'Tis my belief that blood fiends are ostracized due to their nature that maketh coexistence with humans difficult. It may be that the Aesir are also. I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. And wherefore are they made subjects of suspicion and hatred? That's... well, the language is new, but the idea is pretty familiar to the city folks like us. Think of feathers of fallen wings, kids born in the back streets, people who replace their body parts with prosthetics. Form differs, yet in its essence we find the thread. Something about how we keep finding these similarities in the ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in a distant world with different rules, races, and humans. Felt oddly discomforting. But the point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing up the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of this ship. This way. Ship door may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Issue? Wow, that's not reassuring at all. Ah! Multiple life forms identified ahead. Assumed to be a sea terror horde. The ship's radar system seems to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. The same monsters from yesterday. Ship manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Haven't heard they the sea terrors you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Abia, please support us in battle like you did yesterday. Canst thou fight, young mares? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Hey guys, find a place to keep mares as far as possible from the battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Oh.
실수 있지, 의도 있지. 저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면
일기당천.
그 용도를 설명하든지 사직하시오. 착하다더라. 내가 턱이나 오르기나 좋구나.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
검을 휘두를 줄 아는 자는 많다.
Amazing. Oh my god, there's dogs! Hold on, I need to look at these.
마음에 들면 들었다.
There's a shell sea runner. Oh, how nice.
보기 드문 용장에게 칭찬.
Disgusting.
뭐 있는지.
Sinking potency. Grody. Why aren't you? Okay, well, let's just do that. And then we'll actually just go for a power counter.
예상 못했나 봐. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
Oh. Oh, yeah. It's 3. That's not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, hold on. I need.
숨통 끊기.
Ah. My listening organs. Put this back on.
물러나라. 네 목숨은 아직
Goodbye, Ryoshu. Don't worry, we'll see you next season.
좋은 음식입니다.
Sorry, Kento.
살려보내지 마라. 아시의 이상을 느껴줬던 호의.
A little traceless to sight and sound, just a little as a treat.
무상한 목숨.
예상 못했나 봐. 너는 못 따라나.
Yeah, I don't know about hard.
몸을 틔울 수도 없겠고.
There
목을 떨고 주마.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건
Alright, this is gonna be a little awkward for these guys.
막아내지 못해.
Watch in abject horror as I run over these
이 정도 탕면.
skeledogs.
깨우치시게. 이제 깨우치시게.
Oh, it's even got the little voice line. That's so nice.
또한 줄.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
핏물진 길을.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, give it to me again. Come on. Come on, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
숨어들기 나쁘지 않군 거래.
Go get him, Snake Gregor.
실수 있지, 의도 있지. 저희를 헤아릴 수 없다.
And let's just hit that win rate button, please. Thank you. Oh, I love you, win rate button. You're my favorite. Don't think I'll forget about you anytime soon. Mm-hmm.
차 포장이야. 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
Firm.
분명하군요. 큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 음식.
Again. Begin. Again. Oh, right, and then they've got the new Warframe thing. I heard that they're dealing with damage attenuation. At least that's what I heard. I think. I think, and they got a funny little mushroom frame.
놀랐어?
So I'm very, very, very excited for that one. Oh, my bones.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나
Hi, what are you
좋은
doing?
움직임이로구나.
What? You want to say hi to the people? No? Okay. Alright, well, let's see here. What do I need to... Okay, so I need one more shot of Gloom, but I also need another shot of Pride. So you know what? Let's just see if we... Oh, no. If we manage to wipe them here, then so be it. Okay, that was almost a little close.
숨통 끊기.
Oh, I get the feeling that they're probably good.
깨치시게.
Bolts are here.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
Now, let's take a look in a book, but first I could also do Gregor, but no, let's go and do the dragon. Dragon! Dragon!
흐릿한 등화 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의
Come
하늘
here.
용태여 긴 벼로에 남았구나.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's that good stuff.
저 해충 도려내라.
마음에 들면
That was very fast.
What
are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나. 흑순 뒷목질춤. 이제 깨치시게.
Mission accomplished.
Remaining entities have all returned to the sea. Is everyone okay? Just like our last skirmish, sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to sea even before the battle came to an end. And their retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to be just running away. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. Doing peachy, but what about the ship? Fow, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Oh. I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong, of course, but I think I noticed how at the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager? You're probably right, actually. I noticed too, at some point during our battle, those monsters realized that it's the manager who's commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? I ain't much of a question in it. I must have all gone mental. I'm sure that they have many reasons, but Seaborns are beings of infinite potential. So much so that there is no superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves and other Seaborns. Maybe that's their draw. Fascination may be an attitude most befitting a researcher, yet the transformation of fascination into idolatry is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales. And they can adapt to learn a language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Mare's eyes went round at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. It sure was something. I heard that there was a Seaborn who could talk. Non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of its testament to their intelligence. I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans, the other to deceive humans. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are a phenomenon in which humans transform into monstrous forms, first observed after the White Knights and Dark Days incident. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Autus's supposition. White Knights and Dark Days? She whispered quietly, but as we were standing rather close to her, we all caught on to the hint of joy in her voice. Pillar of light in the city. Did it really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Oh, that's... ain't it obvious we got the culprit right here, the storyteller lass who's been gabbing on with no end? Yes, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories, hasn't she? Oh! Yet I have not gotten that far. You, again, you didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbed all about our company's secrets, have you? Nay, I would simply not. As Don Quixote was subject to yet another round of scolding, Amiya stared out toward the sea, wary that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again before turning towards us. I wonder which of the two the Seaborns are. Their sense of self is really, really faint, so I don't think they'd be in either category. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborns. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear for one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes, just desire for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if Seaborns were somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village, repairs completed. I'm guessing repairs are done. Yes, the ship is ready to set sail. Did you have any departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon at the earliest. That soon. As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I can see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastal waters. So we can get back tonight. First order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. Yeah, we did it! It's really nice that we get the hard mode. I think that's quite neat. Though I might have to plop this to intermission real quick while I get some. While I get a little. Oh, now I did hear. Yeah, would you look at that? All right, I'm gonna go flip this to BRB and grab a quick drink because my throat's a little parched. Go get some snacks. Perhaps a carbonated soda. I'm back. Oh no, not the Inquisition. Something going on in the village. Yeah, I hear it too. Hearing people shouting and hollering. We returned to the village, ship repairs completed. We were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, it was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Inquisitor. I think we've been found. Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. The sword and the lamp hanging from her waist sits in stark contrast to the more run-down, ramshackle village. She's got a gun! She almost looked like a fixer from the city. Oh, the Inquisition has discovered our village! You really think that you could stay forever out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? That's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of suspicion of membership within the Church of the Deep. Best known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw, what a dramatic evolution of your career. But it ends here, now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They've never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They are not like me. They disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with a tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. If that's so, then you might find yourself returning to this village one day, as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Is Chief really a pirate? But yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he did was share fin beast jerky to villages. Or carry Agerians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mares, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Kalsted told us that the words of Inquisitors are pretty much law here. It's likely that she is following the proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. And it is decided. Otis quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners who were right next to me seemed to have picked it up, though. Executive Manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It's unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. Oh, are you seriously suggesting that we just let him arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. This is just a standard procedure with no local laws broken. We are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that, too. We can't do that. Even if it is standard procedure, even if they're working within the law, it's not... You stayed up to hear Mayor's story, too, didn't you? You know, the N-Corp Inquisitors were working within the law, too. They came for the village. That was standard procedure, too. Anyone had stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take a risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I'll try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. Can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents out here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. You know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with a ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward for us to just take the ship and go. Ah, kick her ass. How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor then? All right, fine. We'll try talking. But I want to get to the violins, Mr. Hunglu. I think we should at least try to hear them out first, them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisition support. Like Mr. Hunglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what that Inquisitor has to say. Rabbit's right, she says. That's a donkey. You can't fool me. Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right, there's no way Ryoshi would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots. Because the other options are pointless. Because Wither has seen us, we're already under suspicion. She will doubtlessly try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack! Duh! Are you sure that's not what Amiya meant? Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. Clock-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? Clock. What? Which language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Hey, don't just tell her that. 2 days! Alright, enough of the chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. The attempt appears to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I'm Amiya, leader of Rhodes Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's closed borders situation. I felt hope swelling within me as Amiya began with confidence, unlike Sinclair. Alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's quick retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Also, not only are we dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well. Well, we had to, because the issue demands urgency, and I've been briefed, brazenly crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent that issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and that chatty med doctor of yours talk it out. You know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills. As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive who has fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is an inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. Inhumane? This decision is well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They've lived for years right next to that highly suspicious A here. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they have committed any acts of treason against our laws. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast without the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. Oh, I think I've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what's essentially a failure of your responsibilities? And now you roll up in here only to go, they shouldn't be alive, I'm arresting them all? What, are you saying these people should all be dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this. Not for this long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. Oh, that's it. As if you ever so much as touched the tip of a single villager's hair. Please, calm yourself, Heathcliff. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off me! I've had enough of her! Continuing to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. You suggest, then, we're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor. What do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. But they look too healthy. Heck, then you shouldn't be applauding them for managing to survive. Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? I'm an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promised them a fair judgment, whichever way that may be, after a proper investigation, so stop it with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante. Without the full picture of the circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless Inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents, like Miss Mayers told us about earlier. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of Endcorp that we saw back at Call. They were right. We didn't have a full picture of the circumstances. Getting in the way of an Inquisitor who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to obstruct me, then, as the standoff was showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can answer your questions, so for now let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who had been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. Yeah, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? Alright. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer the questions? About the profound silence. Mayor's response to Autus was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they call the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Ta-da! Oh no! But I want to fight! Here we go!
준비한 대로만 하면
It's also really great that, you know, we got all the... Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. It wasn't long before the seaborns carried by the waves diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. Waves. The profound silence then must have reduced the village to its current state as well. For any reason it's called the Profound Silence? Doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. Because the sea went dead silent before the waves came. Silence then claimed ships out at sea, then cities of Iberia, then the Iberians. No one could say a word in the face of the ineffable calamity. What are you? No average Iberian citizen should be privy to any of the information you're sharing. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be Aesir from the sea, delude the citizens of the citizenry of Iberia, and are sowing chaos in her lands. That's why they're arresting the Aesir left and right. You can see the thought process, but so it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us. Dante. This isn't good. Sharing that seems to have been some kind of a taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stared at Mayers. Her eyes were filled with traces of anger and confusion, but she's afraid. There was fear in the face of a threat. Not the fear of the terrified. No. It's the fear of someone who's suddenly confronted with something they must destroy. My Inquisitor once told me that should I come across an Aesir who knows too much, there's a sliver of a chance they may be of assistance to Iberia. Cease! Thou art threatening the innocent with thy brandishing of the firearm! But most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus they are with little doubt our foes. I've got a bad feeling about this. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quick on the uptake as always, Rogia slung Mayers up on her shoulder and ran past the villages. While the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor draws her firearm. And in the midst of all the action, Don Quixote rushed toward the Inquisitor without a moment's hesitation. It's Don Quixote? I shall go no further. I, a fixer of justice, shan't abide by as thou persecute them. Shan't abide by as thou persecute them. Forsooth, 'tis a battle delayed, not avoided. This clash is inevitable. That moment of crisis, seconds before this, could irrevocably make us a new enemy. Monster. Ah! Large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth between the two of them. Who is it this time? It's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Calston! You know her? Yeah, she's Dr. Calston. Rhodes Island Rhodes Island medical departments. Dr. Calstip behind you! You first, talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory under the Inquisition's authorization. The Inquisitor fired a blast of that firearm-looking weapon, but the monster summoned by Calstip managed to deflect it. And the cannonball thrown from the weapon punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night in, before punching through several other buildings behind it. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners and the villagers on the spot. That penetrated a building. Their walls may be weaker than the head's standard for what counts as a building's exterior wall. To punch through so many is... What a precise point it makes. Now's not the time to stand around impressed! Violation of a taboo to have that much penetrative power in a firearm. We're not in the city. Don't lose your heads over this. Taboos don't apply here. My head knows that to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. That is enough of that discussion for now. It is advisable that we carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand instead of deliberating on a taboo, the jurisdiction of which does not reach this far. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? If she's Amiya's friend, she's our ally. Besides, she's got some super powerful looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. Is that what you think? I apologize for the disappointment, but I'm not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally might not be entirely correct. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you that the closest label would be that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Calston? Amiya, outsiders, as much as you would like to deny it, the Inquisitor's suspicions are true. It can be said that the process by which she reached the conclusion was unfair. The conclusion itself is without a doubt correct. Though they're actually connected to the Church of the Deep. That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep. They are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is a dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village a church? Just look at our buildings. Where would we even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources by which we may analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amiya's colleague has made the same argument as the Inquisitor brings the accused defense into question. Yet I can hardly believe that young Mares is lying to us. Hold on, you've been chatting plenty with that Inquisitor or whatever. How do we know you weren't lying with him the whole time? I see you really are all entirely in the dark, as an expected outcome, given that all of you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there is no need for you to know it anyway. Truth is truth unchanging, without the acceptance from an errant group of outsiders. Besides, soon... I'm sorry. It seems we mired you in this trouble. Say no such thing. We shall not abide by one such injustice is perpetrated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has even brought an ally. Seems quite unlikely that words will resolve this conflict. But we promise you we will take responsibility for what is done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulls a dagger from his cloth, and I immediately knew what Calston was about to say. Take responsibility. You shouldn't have to go that far. Oh, blimey! We're now departing from the sea, and we cannot bring ourselves to leave you here. I must ask that you join us for this journey. Become our blood kin. What are you doing? Stop! The unanticipated, or perhaps I was simply in denial that this rising dread ambush did not end there. What? The Inquisitor was right? Oh well. Villagers suddenly began shanking the sinners with weapons they had concealed in their clothes, and it seemed that they were coming for me as well. Amiya, on your left! Amiya materialized, a black ribbon-like apparition, parrying away, the dagger flying in my direction. But another villager rushed in, taking advantage of the opening. The charging villager's back made a visceral, crunchy noise. Someone flung them away. Mean to be this late. Scotty, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. This fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. What about the sinners? What about the sinners who managed to survive? The sinners weren't doing so well. At least we had a silver lining in that the Inquisitor and Calston's quick understanding of the situation and subsequent retaliation led the villagers away from the sinners. I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. Odd thing to say. Why would we hold any animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? Not trying to hurt you, we're simply trying to give you a form better suited for the sea. Till we were obstructed. Apologize for our unfamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink about what happened. What's truly unforgivable is that the heretics tried to take advantage of the ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost on Iberian soil are my responsibility. My fault. Sorry it came to this. Eh? Wait, lives lost? We're still alive. We're not dead! This is most unfortunate, outsider. What? Friends are either going to die or turn into seaborns. The daggers that stabbed them were laced with the flesh of sea terrors. Once that happens, most die and the survivors become overwritten by their cells, becoming nothing more than another sea monster. What? That's not a very big deal. Everyone was acting like this was it for the sinners, but hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's that bad. My only concern was that I didn't know what would happen if I tried to bring them back after they're fully transformed into seaborns. The Golden Bow helped deal with the whale's politification, but I had no idea how it would interact with seaborn transformations. We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but what? Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my... But can you kill my friends? And preferably in the least painful way, you know? Sorry, was the last part kind of too much to ask? Wait, don't give up already. If we bring them back to Rhodes Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you... Ante, I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength has rapidly deteriorated since the ambush. It's kind of tingly, too. Maybe they used some kind of paralytic cocktail? Just trust me this one time. I can assure you that I'm not just giving up on them. Mia, can you understand the outsider's speech? Yes, it's just they're making a pretty difficult request. They want me to kill all their friends before they transform into seaborns. Okay. And before we do it, Scotty had decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Mia seemed to have been taken aback by how fast Scotty jumped into action. What are you doing? Scotty? Alright, don't let this spook you. This is just how we roll. The clock turns. The decapitated heads creep toward the headless torsos, connecting with threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. It feels as though the sinners and I are severed from the rest of the world, rewinding in isolation. Is this rewinding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? This pain is multifold worse than the sensation of a straightforward decapitation. Pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. Their wounds are disappearing. Resurrection, metempsychosis, or time reversal. Puzzling. I have no knowledge with which to interpret this technology. The cost seems to be that the pain is transferred to the one who rewinds. That seems too small a price to pay for such great power, though the discussion of whether this can be categorized as power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All of my limbs were trembling from the icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and ordered the sinners. I don't know what they were thinking, but we should be able to find out once we take them down. Dare deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare thyself, for thou shalt now pay the price for making a mockery of justice. You can't just let this slide, you know. Oh, no! I had high hopes that you would become fine bloodkins. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go and stab Grandpa. That was a bit of an awkward turn of events.
저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면
Swift, Steadfast, and Fabius. Alright, let's see here. How much juice does he have? He's got decent. Don't know what he's gotten. Well, it seems that we're just gonna have to, yeah, this should be fun. Yeah, we got things coming. Yeah, we should be alright. Should being the operative. Ah! Okay, we're good. We're good, we're good. That one was just a little scary. But not too scary, you know.
차포잡이라.
A little traceless to a little sight and sound. Oh.
숨통 끊기.
Ah, that's acceptable.
옳다.
One, two, three, and four. Sorry, that was just a big brick of ice. Alright, let's see here. How many dudes are we expecting? Not too many then, I guess. So we'll just have, ooh, oh, I don't like that. I don't like seeing, not... Okay, well that's favored at least. But we can try to... Yeah, we'll just, try to take these guys out. Okay, so we... This, and... Yeah, we should be okay. Ugh. No cell injection. Don't use your magic on me. 2, 3. What's that? Ooh. Alright, just barely.
이번에 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만.
이해하고는
Bit unfortunate that I didn't have enough Death Right on tap.
적의 팔다리를
Alright, does anyone have anything else that they need to add? I mean, I could... Yeah, because we got... What is it? 1 Wrath that we need? Which unfortunately means that I think only Sinclair can generate that, eventually. You know what? Let's go for those tears of tarnished blood, shall we? Oh, I don't like it. Not at all. Oh, and then one of these, and then those, and that'll be one of these. Yeah, that ought to work. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. It's très bon, très bon, très bon. Hello, yes, I would like 1 tears of the tarnished blood, please. Inception. Ah! Don't worry, he's just been a little stabbed. I still can't believe that these elves would betray us. Never trust an elf. Not to seem exceptionally callous, but... Yeah. No propagating of bliss is illegal.
판도는 유리하나 교만하면 뒤집어지는 법.
Alright, let's... What's the attack rate on this? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, let's give it a gander.
말로 해야 하나?
You know what they say, what's good for the gander is good for the goose. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Alright, let's see what this one is.
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아.
Amazing. Admittedly, that didn't do quite as much damage as I would have liked, but I guess that guy's definitely dunzos. Rip.
가치 없군. 죽어라.
Go get him, Mr. Horsey! Good. Oh no. No, don't do it! Oh, we're so close. No, don't inject your cells into him. Won't somebody think of this poor man?
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니냐.
Oh no, he's got a lot of
좋은 움직임이군.
priority high, right of liberation. Well, let's see what you got. Alright. This. And one of these, and then one of those. And let's see how Ish works it. Oh, yeah, no, they're all gonzos. Ah. Oh, yeah.
마음에 들면 들었다.
Nothing quite like having the,
보기 드문
what's the word?
용감하게
Ooh. We'll get there eventually. Oh, yeah, no, he's so staggered. Goodbye. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he's definitely not making it out of this one alive. Maybe not quite. Ah, there we go.
Mission accomplished.
Wait, I think they're heading to... He's running himself into a dead end. Are they seeking refuge at sea? Hey, that's where the ship is. That's where they're headed. They're trying to board the vessel Massas. Wait, but we never told them that the ship was repaired, so how? Obvious the whole village is in on it. It ain't a surprise that they send someone to spy on us. Or they know a way to get the ship floating even in its broken state. Vessel Massas? Vessel Rebellion de la Massas. The ship is moored at a port in that direction. Wait, it can't be. Irene, who was preoccupied with battling the rest of the the followers of the Church of the Deep who were hiding, quickly gave chase. But Fabius and the villagers were already aboard the repaired ship, slowly departing the harbor with a horde of sea terrors between us and them. Could a vessel of that size become operational this fast? Exterior, the name. It must have been constructed during the golden age of Iberia. How are we supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rowed after them? Mate, come on. Sea's full of sea terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. You see something, Amiya? Keep looking in that direction. Oh. The vessel Massas soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty with nary a sign of people ever having been there, as though this getaway had all been premeditated. Leaving only Mayors. Oh no! Man, they are just throwing this currency at me, and I am all for it. Three-way agreement. Please don't hurt me. Damn it, can't we just take any ship to go after it? The research vessel, it can't possibly be very fast. This will be difficult. Even if it is a research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the golden age of Iberia. No average ship can keep up with it. Which is a problem, because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few small vessels left, which are all anchored too far from this location to be feasible options. Do we have any recourse? No. Not unless we can identify the exact location of the vessel. Which is the real problem. We can find ourselves a ship to go after them, yes, but most of the eyes of Iberia, the lighthouses, were lost during the profound silence. Wait, when you say most, do you mean that there's some left? Just one, as far as I know. The one in Grand Pharaoh, but the lighthouse cannot be used at this moment. There's another. There's a lighthouse you can use. Ooh! Really? Are you really going to give one of the villagers the benefit of the doubt? Yet young Scotty hath already confirmed her to be safe. All I confirmed was whether she's a Seaborn or not. No, she's a cultist. It's true, yet once we saw that Mares was left all on her own, we decided to have her accompany us at all times and keep her within Irene's eyeshot. We couldn't possibly blame her for what happened, given Scotty's confirmation that she doesn't have anything to do with those sea monsters. Besides, they all left her behind. But Irene still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. The problem with the A here is that she simply knows too much. Where could she possibly have gained access to all that information? See, she can't even answer that question. But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? The location of that lighthouse, for example. They're ticking rapidly. What did they say? Dante says that we should approach it differently and ask her what we don't know, like the location of the lighthouse. Seems like a reasonable suggestion to me. Or does the Inquisitor have an alternate solution to this conundrum? No, but... fine. Let's hear it. I won't interrogate you about how you have access to things that even us Inquisitors don't know, at least not right now. Paro Muerto. Dead Lighthouse. That's our village name. Somewhere a little ways off from the coastline, there's an intact Eye of Iberia on the sea that was almost destroyed when the profound silence swept through. Off the coastline? Is it not connected to the land? I think it used to be until it sank. Should be able to procure ourselves enough wooden material from the village to build a raft. It is near enough for a raft to be the means of access. The weather's not great today, but it should do. It's not very far from the coast. Even you're going to trust the A here. I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand the Iberian mistrust of the A here is quite profound, yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. Inquisitor Irene, what did you feel when you saw the Rhodes Island operator? If you're talking about the Countess, nothing in particular, other than slight annoyance when she accused me of being inhumane. So you didn't harbor any hostility nor disgust? Not that you would have felt any sense of sympathy or empathy either. I thought... I have no history or feelings for or against the A here. Such must be the same for the outsiders. What's she on about? She's conveying that in matters regarding to mayors, our opinions are more objective than Irene's. Finding the vessel Fabius commandeered will be of benefit to all. Limbus Company will gain an opportunity to return to the city via the Dimensional Door, while Rhodes Island will have the chance to study it at a closer proximity. And the Inquisition will gain possession of the vessel in which the technology from the Iberian Golden Age is contained. What, you're going to just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we covet what was once Iberia's? Well, there certainly are aspects to that vessel that draw interest. I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as Mephistopheles. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in Mares. You're in luck, Executive Manager. It is quite fortunate that our interests aligned exactly with that of the first strangers we encountered in a strange land. Yeah, Lucky's right. Imagine if we were back in the city. It would have taken them like 3 or 4 distortion hunts for us to come to this agreement. Sorry about having to saddle you with this, Mares. Please lead us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. You said almost destroyed. How almost destroyed is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse a long time ago, but the shape still stands. At least it was when I saw it a few months ago. The lighthouse is in an inoperable state. We're going to need an expert technician to get it back in working order. The technology is based on it's completely divorced from the popular application of originium technology, so I doubt there's anyone out there who can work on it anymore. Then you needn't even worry about that. Here we have an engineer and a researcher who are geniuses even among those in the city, so we should be able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just revelation after revelation, huh? I can vouch for Limbus Company's skills. I always like that Autos is... just my favorite. I just like her. I can also work on the simpler tasks. I learned a thing or two helping out Gramps, stuff about the lighthouse or various tech stuff. Well, then should we all head to the lighthouse together? Yes. No, I'll be leaving the group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. What? After all that, you're just going off on your own? Yes. To join the Doctor. It is imperative for the successful execution of this mission. Of course, that hinges on Amiya and Scotty remaining behind here to assist the rest of you. Thus, I will leave it to the rest of you to take the Eye of Iberia at the lighthouse back. Wait, what do you mean by take back the lighthouse? Is there someone or something out there that's taken over the lighthouse called the Eye of Iberia? A likely supposition. Amiya, what did the manager of Limbus Company say? They're asking if the lighthouse has been taken over by something. Not a bad intuition. Yes, there is a high likelihood that the structure has already been overrun by sea terrors. I don't know about overrun, but I've encountered them a few times when we approached it too closely. Normally this is hardly enough personnel to attempt a raid on the lighthouse, but answer me this, are there any limitations to their revival? There are no restrictions as long as Dante, the manager, survives. However, do note that battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battle due to mounting mental stress on the manager. No need to change the plan, then. May I use this communicator to alert me as soon as you are able to identify the locations of the vessel from the lighthouse. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the retrieval mission. Okay, as long as you're not taking everyone with you, if it's just her who's leaving, then go ahead. I think we should be fine, too. Then let us commence the mission Vessel Massa's retrieval. Right, I understand. One of the plans is the raft, right? Let's get on with it. It's done. Let's go. And why are you looking at us like that? Is something bothering you? Must you ask? Just look at how proactive and quick she is to jump to action. Certainly lives up to the image of an employee working for a large corporation. Thanks, Otis, for the charitable view, I guess. Charitable. Thanks, Scotty, who had already finished the first step of the plan. We were able to move on to step 2 immediately. Mushroom. Mushroom. Whatever could it mean? Woo! Operation Lighthouse Retrieval. How far off am I? Yeah, I might be able to just get away with, I might be able to get that. Get the last one. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Can't we just take any ship to go after it? It's a research vessel, it can't... Oh. I'm in the wrong... I clicked the wrong button. Did I? Yes. Oh. Yeah, I would love to recharge my Anchophelon. Let's use a box. After a while of carefully sailing on Scotty's raft along the coastal cliffs, a gargantuan shrouded lighthouse emerged from the thick mist. Eye of Iberia. Even in its dilapidated ruined state, touches that are at once monumental and sensitive are apparent on the exterior construction of the lighthouse. Some even call these lighthouses guardians of Iberia. It retains the grandeur of the area as it was built during its golden age. You really know everything, don't you? It is as she said, but now these lighthouses are nothing but graveyards of countless inquisitors and soldiers of the penal battalion. No one who's attempted to retrieve a lighthouse has ever survived the expedition. Can you please not say scary stuff like that, Miss Irene? We are literally about to walk into one. Don't you ever quit chirping. What are you, a foul beast? Stop yapping in my ear. Why is this one such a coward unlike the rest of you outsiders? I'm not a coward, I'm just voicing my... She did just say some pretty concerning stuff. I'm very scared. How long do you think the repairs will take? Its exterior is rather heavily damaged. However, from what is visible from the outside, its interior is still quite intact. With Miss Faust's expertise, it should not take very long. Yusang suggested with a smile, but Faust maintained her silence for the entire journey to the lighthouse. I said something pretty concerning in response. Of course, my wit remains unmarred even in such uncertainties. The currents are pretty wild. Someone's gonna have to stay behind and keep an eye on the raft. We can't just leave it here unattended, but I don't know if we can carry it either. I'll stay here and protect the ship. You sure you can handle this alone? I know you're strong, but maybe 1 or 2 more people should stay behind just in case. No. Don't eat them. Sea terrors will swarm the islet if I go with you anyway. So this has nothing to do with you. So what she's trying to say is that she's worried about you not having enough people to take on the lighthouse when she can handle this area alone, which is why she is okay with staying behind alone. Thanks for explaining. Some people just can't help but hop through an extra hoop, I guess. Well then, let's trust her. We'll be back, Scotty. Luckily, we didn't run into any sea terrors on our way to the lighthouse gates. The problem was that the gates were bound shut by strange blue tissues. Tissues? Reminds me of that L Corp branch back at U Corp. So that one was white. I don't think I could do anything to force it open myself, so guys, can you pry open this door? Ooh. Boy, move over. I'll pull from the right, you grab the left. And we'll all pull together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Uh-huh. Something's off here. What are you doing? The door is firmly secured in place. This flesh tissue regenerates almost as soon as it is torn. Perhaps you'll need to tap into a wilder form of art to get this open. Well, what now? This strange flesh tissue growing on the gates is sea tear. It reacts to the lamp, but it's grown too much to be affected by it in any meaningful capacity. Scotty might be able to open this door with her incredible strength, but... Did I go fetch her? But I think she's already fighting off the sea terrors from sinking the raft. So we're all on our own. Maybe there's an identity card or ego I could use to get through this. So which one? Huh? Just as I was pondering a familiar question, a faint black glow came into view, then devoured my sight. It's no intuition or inspiration, it's different from those sudden flashes of realization. And it's not the star of that day that I think of from time to time. It's not the horrible door that I see every time I turn the clock, either. The formless and black space in which I am not permitted to see, a faint noise, a whisper cuts through it. And through that opening I see light. I reach out to the opening and see Scotty, born from a very, very warm gaze. Scotty? Powerful imagery crashes unto me like the waves. Scotty, the staggering dancer wielding a blade. Scotty, who flaunts her flowing locks. And Scotty, the singer, humming in a low voice. Beyond the fringes of cognition, Scotty's existence has become engraved. The sinner who can wrestle and control this oceanic tidal power is... Dante, are you alright? I'm good. Oh, then I don't think we'll need to send for Scotty. What? Hey, Ishmael, I've never used this ego before, but I need you to trust me and accept it. What? An ego? I nod quietly. Well, it's not like we ever get to have a practice run with those ego. Whatever it is, seems to me our manager's found a solution. Her confusion is short-lived. She lets out a carefree laughter before stepping forward, boldly twirling her mace once. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Get corroded? Amazing! Our second out-of-combat ego application. Huh? Cracks in the lighthouse are growing. I think she destroyed the door instead of opening it. Sorry, didn't think it'd be this strong. Well, the door's open. What are we waiting for? No, I mean, what was the part where you... What, the part where I suddenly changed into a different outfit and equipped a different personality? Yeah, that! That is... It is most fascinating that an ego could be drawn here in lieu of the mirror of Mephistopheles. I think I connected to Amia's subconscious mind. There was this strange, unfamiliar light, and I saw Amia's emotions attached to her memories and experiences, and I just reached out to them. My subconscious mind? I just had this feeling that it would work. Sorry about peering in without asking first, but I didn't see anything other than things about Scotty. All I needed were memories and emotions that could be used to understand the being that is Scotty. It's okay. I also have experience with gaining power from others' memories and emotions to overcome difficult situations. Maybe that's how you were able to draw something from me as well, Dante. That's the most appropriate assumption, especially in a situation in which delving into its principles is impossible. So that's called ego. Verily, of course, Limbus Company's ego is quite distinguished from the other kind of ego, which are bloomed from within oneself. That's enough. No further information is to be divulged to outsiders. Yet it matters not whether the young mayors and young Amia learn of this. I agree with that fool this time. The Inquisitor used an artillery projectile that penetrates the outer walls, several of them, in fact, of a building, and the head did not pursue her following that breach of taboo. This is clearly not the city. I need better to let her talk her. Oh, yeah, did you hear about and whine about not being able to say anything? I'm convinced. Do as you will, then. Mal's reply sounded almost sulking. But Don Quixote immediately began to expound upon ego to Irene and Mares anyway. But everyone was too busy to pay attention to her, as the wet, slithering noise from a distance had put everyone on edge. Can we do that later? We've got some cleaning up to do. So there are more sea terrors past the door. I think any sea terrors from the sea are all converging around Scotty, which means our only roadblocks are sea terrors still lingering around the lighthouse. Let's go. Take this lighthouse back. Amazing.
실수일지 의도일지 저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면 그 용도를 고민하는 것이 상책이지.
Alright, yeah, let's hit that win rate button. Save me! Win rate button, save me!
이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 넌 구름을 틔울 수도 없겠고.
차포잡이라 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
One and two.
그 열어젖히고
A free stagger, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
숨통 끊기. 옳다. 큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
The hand of the saint. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Okay, so that goes there, that goes here. Oh, we've got like 3 people going on that? Nah, I think we're gonna go for at least 1 on you. We'll leave that alone. And yeah, we only need 1 on that, because that's only got 3. It can't possibly survive for very long. Probably.
죽지 마라.
목을 떨궈주마.
빈틈투성네. 큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
I see. Huh. Fun. Alright, well, let's see. So we'll go with you, go over here, and then I think you should be able to... we'll just go for a power counter. And then one of these, and then one of those, but then we actually go with you instead, and then we got... Alright, then let's actually go here, and then, yeah, that looks alright. Go get him.
저 해충을 도려내라. 어디로? 하늘 넘고 물 넘고.
유효하구나.
이건 예상 못했나 봐. 물러나라.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, was that Faust getting out of here?
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건
Faust, but why? Alright, well, this ought to be.
그럼에도 이상이여. 내가 맞서.
Okay, a Basin Sea Reaper. Well, we should probably deal with you, like,
줬던 호위.
eventually. Let's see. Yeah, well, nah, actually, you know, we'll just leave that alone for right now. We'll just deal with all this, because that's 9 on 25, and this is going over here. And yeah, let's just start tearing them up. Alright, let's go give him what we got. Except this one's probably going to lead to Ishmael getting countered, which is a little unfortunate.
검을 휘두를 줄 아는 자는 많다. 검에 길을 잇는지가 중요할 거야. 마음에 들면 들었다. 솔직히 말해라, 자로요. 보기 드문 용장에게 침착 병력을 새로이 구성해야 하나. 불가피하다면 실수를 세우는 것이 좋습니다. 큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나. 흑수며 뒷받의 춤.
저 해충들을 도려내.
가치 없군. 죽어라.
Greg!
시간은 좋았어요.
물러나. 네 목숨은 아직 따로 쓸 곳이.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건
너의
아니나
쓸모를 보여라.
좋은 움직임이로구나.
Yeah, that'll work. Well.
말로 받았다. 저 해충들을 도려내. 물 넘고 거꾸로 제쳐라. 길을 열어라. 마음 부러운데 제발 말아. 더는 하늘에 오르지 못한다 해도
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
큰 흐름을 뒤집은 건 아니나 좋은 움직임이로구나.
Well, let's see here. Well, I'm pretty sure that I could give him another concussion. Or we can just run him down. Yeah, this ought to work.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 스며들 듯한 비. 우산이 새지나 않나 모르겠소.
무용하군.
혈염도 바로.
자로요. 돈을 아는 것을 살아있는 건
Mission accomplished.
마침내 굴레 하나를 끊었어. 두려움 없이 나아갈 수 있는 아씨가 그리던 홍원이 한 걸음 더 가까워진 것이요.
하나.
메마른 당신에게 파도는 반드시 밀려올 테니.
Oh, it's very good. Eat your heart out, Ardor Blossom Star, which admittedly I probably shouldn't have been using. Yeah, let's go for Sinclair. I don't think he's gonna get a new ID anytime soon. Or at the very least, not one that I'm gonna be like, I need it yesterday. Yeah, give me that. Give me Unbreakable Coin Ego. Yes, please, and thank you. Yeah, that's fantastic. Oh, I think this is a perfect thing for, but for whom? It actually is a good question, but it is very good. Though, admittedly, I feel like the wing beat might actually just be better for Jichunmail. And maybe Bygone Days rather than Capote. And, I mean, tempting for the 100 put a Death Maggot, but I don't really think that. Alright, let's take a look here. Right. Torture and journey with the torturous nightmare to your luncheon. But be assured, this sword, this honor, this luncheon won't be tarnished. Fun, and we'll take it. God, it's so cool. Rough tides, look out! Fuck out! Is it just a battle? That looks like a battle. With plot. Maybe a plot battle. No. Alright, let's take a look here. Yeah, we're just gonna hit win rate button. Go save me, win rate button, save me! Whee! Oh yeah, by all means, reap some nutrients, you little worm. Woohoo! Okay, there we go. That was a little concerning. Don't worry, they'll falter and fall eventually. Alright, let's see what we're looking at here. Well, let's go with these, and then, you know, maybe you could get away with a, oh, look, there's some kind of crab. Oh, look, a crab. Okay, you're getting hit by that, so I don't really need to care about you, so we're just gonna go for, oh, I don't know, this. That should be fine. Good, being the operative.
아직 죽지 마라. 아득한 야정.
Yeah, get him! Get him! Beat up those fish! That's what they deserve!
답을 구하시길.
They should never have crawled out of the ocean.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
큰 흐름을
And you guessed it, time to do it again. Or maybe I instead go for this. And then we go this way, and then we go this way, and then we go. How many more of these do we have to deal with? Oh, like 25. That's not. I say probably. Yeah, that looks alright. Oh, we can't lose. We never lose. We stay winning, in fact.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
I quite like staring at the window, out the window in fact, because it's rather dark outside. Not that I really mind, and today was alright. It was a good day.
좋은 움직임이로군.
We got some very important things done. And by very important things, I mean I ran around and did things.
아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위.
Allegedly. Alright, let's go and see how this works. Oh, this is gonna do wonders. Yeah, that works for me.
무상한 목숨.
Goodbye. Oh.
불끈히 지원했군. 무용하군.
Never mind. Never mind. Goodbye.
넌 푸름을 틔울 수
Hello? Goodbye.
들어오는 대로 짓밟아라. 혈액도 바로.
퉁퉁투성네.
지금은 좋았어요.
Oh yeah, that's it.
흐름을 뒤집은 건
Let's see here.
좋은 움직임이로구나.
Well, I mean, hey, would you look at that? Now wait. Yeah, just give it a little, just give it win rate button. I'm sure win rate button will lead the way. Lead the way and save the day. Win rate button, save me.
정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
힘이 생겼군.
Oh no, oh no, everything's gone wrong. Just get that command meltdown in here. And you know what? Damn right. Let's see. So what'll it cost if I... Oh, that'll cost. We'll just go for another one of these, and then, yeah, I say we dogpile on the chaff. And maybe we'll go for one of these. At least for a shot of brilliant glory. I don't like that.
일기당천.
Go get him. Get everything. There we go.
아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
Oh no! Oh no! That's not good. I'm sure we'll be alright. Oh no.
눈부시지 않도록 두려워하지 마.
Yeah, you should be alright. Should be the operative.
혈압도 바로.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
무상한 목숨.
I think we'll make it out of this in one piece.
불끈한 지원했군.
모든 것에 견뎠어.
적의 팔다리를
Ah,
이제
I've seen worse. Alright, let's go for a power counter here. Horse. Yeah, I'll only need to get through like 10 of them. That's alright. I've seen worse. We've seen worse, we've been through worse, we're going to be through worse. Oh, let's just put this over here. Oh, let's go with this. Bada bing, bada boom, that's bada.
넌 숨을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 물 넘고
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
깔끔하게 몰았군.
무슨 술술해. 내올 건가? 이용하는 것은 상책이겠지만 주군이라면 메웠을 거다.
Alright, that's
부상자를 챙기지.
but yeah, this one might be a little tight, but I think we'll be alright. And if not, oh well.
이 몸을 온다.
Oh well, oh well, oh well.
기꺼이 죄를 받아들이나이다.
Yeah, we'll be just fine.
모험하군.
Yeah, we look up.
드넓은 홍원의 인재만 추천이다.
Don't worry, Greg's getting his, yeah, he's got his man in scabbard. We should be fine.
어찌 그리 얄밉게 하는지.
Let's see. Well, I say that we just go a little bit further down the line and then maybe go for a buff days. Took off Tears of Tarnished Blood, so that should be fine. Then, yeah, we just go for the base and Sea Reaper, and that should be
막아내지 못해.
hopefully enough. Maybe. Barring if we, you know, roll poorly every time.
주인께서
But that is neither
내리셨습니다.
here nor there.
당신
The ebb and flow of time. It'll be alright. Probably.
다음은 어디로?
바로 해주시죠. 이건 불찰이.
너의 쓸모를 보여라.
간이 보존
Yeah, this is already better. Everything's going just right. It just need to get a good, like, fourth of them out of the way. Alright, let's go this way, and then this way, and then just, yeah, we'll go with this. Nah, don't worry, it's fine.
발톱을 걸어. 지 목을 떨고 주마.
That's fine. And the fact that we are definitely getting our... Yeah, get him, Greg. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Gregor, goodbye. It was nice. It was nice having you on the team. Don't worry, we'll see you next time.
다음은 어디로?
이건
물었던
불찰이.
너의 쓸모를 보여라.
간이 보존 붕대로 감아.
Alright. Come on, give me that Tears of Tarnished Blood. That's what I really want, you know? You know, that's all that I really wanted, and it's all I'll ever know. Yeah, get him, Heathcliff. Just shoot them with your gun.
지워버리죠.
Guncliff. Oh no.
끝내지.
지 목을
Well,
떨고
bam. How'd it? How about a bet?
푸름을 틔울 수도 없게.
And that's the end of that. Pay no attention to the fact that I'm like bleeding from the chest.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니
Oh yeah.
내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
Alright, let's see. What else can I could get a fair few of those, but let's see. Else, yeah, the Fabled King. Yeah, sure. Let's see what we got.
방송을 켜겠다.
There were more sea terrors than we expected near the lighthouse, but thanks to Irene's lamp, the light of which paralyzed their nervous systems, paired with the rather narrow passageways, we were able to handle them without much notice. Also, as the control room was, unlike the exterior wall, mostly undamaged. Faust shared the good news that the repairs most likely won't take very long. Isaac was right. Fortunately, the inside is barely damaged. How are you progressing, Miss Faust? It is almost complete. We best prepare to leave. Then I'll radio the doctor. Let's... Tremor shakes the bottom with a loud boom and debris begins to fall from the ceiling. The lighthouse's precarious floor suddenly collapses from the shock. Ah, the floor's giving away! What's going on out there? Something rammed against the eye of Iberia. I see yacht shattering through the ocean's surface, the sheer explosive force turning water into mist. It's charging at us once again. As Yisang noted, I saw a shadow of a dark figure that ruptured the outer wall of the lighthouse, charging ferociously at the ruined structure. The figure looked a lot like one of those knights of the city's western region Don Quixote would talk at length about. The lighthouse might crumble at this rate. Then we have no choice. We have to stop whatever's out there. Faust, stay here. The rest of us will descend the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is almost fully functional. It'll only take some finishing touches to have its light shine again, which I can handle, so I'll stay behind. Seems entirely unnecessary to leave the rest to you. I would much rather leave it to Faust, who is an expert. I've read about that Seaborn before. The fables and legends say that he is the last knight, and if the stories have any grain of truth in them, you'll need all hands on deck to even have a chance at stalling it. You better prepare for a few days of interrogations once I bring you to the Inquisition. Decision, Executive Manager. All hands on deck! Leave the lighthouse to Mares. We have to put a stop to that night somehow. Oh, wow. Face crest high and violent behind the spear-wielding knight. We have to protect the already precarious lighthouse against the knight. The knight begins charging at us, his steed splitting the very sea, and I instinctively know that this isn't going to be easy. One day, wheat grains he planted did not sprout. One day, he stopped feeling the scent of life between his breaths. Thus he rides against the currents, hunting after waves. He seeks the waves, reproaches them, and eventually brings about their destruction. Faint memories, having blinked through Amiya's fathoms, flash briefly before my eyes, and the sea-born knight wields his great lance against surface sea terrors. He shudders as though with repulsiveness, but he does not stop. You obstruct progress and cover the lands. That is impermissible. This is the land. The knight and the sea terrors don't necessarily seem to be on the same side. Perhaps diplomacy may be a viable option. Sure, why not? Yeah, go talk to him. Go get him, Hunglu. We are not the sea, we are not its waves. The knight's great lance falters without doubt. Sorry, falters with doubt. Waves are the only thing that hold any meaning for him.
아는 것을 모른 채 할 수는 없으니.
敵の調子が悪くなっているみたいです。
What do you mean you don't think they're doing too good? We barely just got started. Uh-oh.
저 해충들을 도려내라.
Go get him, horsey. Ooh. Oh yeah, he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be that tough. Not that I mind. I don't really need. I don't need these all to be, you know, like like to pull your teeth out. Jeez, this is difficult. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see. What else are we dealing with?
행색이
Right.
이상하다. 그럼에도 이상이여. 내가
Cold
봤어.
Intro.
내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이여.
Okay. Well, this is already the opposite of good, so let's, you know what? Let's take it here. Did I go for Morositas? Yes. Yes, yet I think I do. Alright, fine. I don't know what's going on here. Power counter, little power guard, and you know what? Maybe a... Yeah, I'm sure this will be fine, and then we'll just send you, I don't know, over here. Sure, why not? Whee! Alright, go get him, Ish.
그래요.
Put him down.
이렇게 가만히 있어요. 상처는 고기는
Oh,
맛없어.
that's great. Yay. Oh, what a night. Do, 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 do. There is so much that I need to say. There is so much that I wanna be. What a lady, what a night. Do, 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 do. Ah! 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 I should have brought Raja. The Night of Despair. Oh gosh. Okay, don't worry. Faust is doing alright. The sinner, yeah. Begin the slow. You don't have anything in common with the knight. Yeah. He waves your rocks in his eyes to see you. Have someone stand their ground next to the petrified sinners. What does Hung Yuan need right now? Sinner Hunglu's warmth reignites the fires of determination. Good.
아는 것을 모른 채 할 수는 없어.
Good. Okay, let's see here. Let's just roll with a lantern. This ought to do. I have only the utmost faith, despite these, admittedly, like, absurd. Like my. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Go get him, horsey. Oh, he's so frozen, isn't he? Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Ah! Damn it, don't do that. Oh no. Ah! Ah, come on, Greg. You don't have to get it. Alright, this might be a back to the drawing board kind of fight. Alright, let's think here. I guess I'm not technically attacking the knight. I'm just not clashing with him. Alright, let's try this on. First rip butcher blade, thank you. 2, 3. Le. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, now the question is, did I use my oh, whee, what up? No, please don't. Ah. Uh-oh. This might be a reputable ding-dong for Roger. Dare I engage Superbia? Yes, of course. And then we'll go for Command Meltdown, which admittedly clashes very well. He said, his eyes full of hope. Alright, and then we'll just go for... Well, I guess it doesn't count as an attack, right? Because it's power counter. Woohoo! That's good stuff. Oh no! I packed too many. Okay, this is definitely a bit of a counter for the crew I roll with. Oh, Bowsed. I didn't. You know what? You know what? We'll head back to the drawing board. I don't think the Hongyuan gang is gonna handle this one. Yeah, whatever. Did you mission failed me? We're going back to the drawing board, and that was clearly not. I don't like those cold stacks. Yeah, whatever. Shh, quiet you. Alright, let's go find that sinking charge team.
아니에요. 제 준비가 부족했던 탓이겠죠.
Let's see. Brett, maybe. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, it should be. Yeah, and then we'll send in you and you and you. Maybe not. With you and you and you and you. The people living with not dying from disease. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I have only the utmost faith in you, Roger. Thank you.
자,
Alright, let's take a look here.
배신하지 않아.
Oh, first, yeah, we're getting the things that roll very high all the time. Including our good old-fashioned wild hunt.
만만찮겠군. 본인이 하지.
Excellent. Yeah.
편히 쉬시게.
Enjoy your free sinking, you big old dork. Ah!
으타. 먹어 치워라. 차라리 아무것도 남지 마라.
Requiem. Yeah, just give him sinking. Like, enjoy, you big old dork. I'd wager we probably just ended up, like, destabilizing way too quickly. At least that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, Tide Hunt. Yeah, that's nice. How about I just hit you with that? And then we go for... Yeah, we might have to go for a bit of a rest. Of a rest and repeat. Alright, let's... Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah! Just keep giving him big sinking. Uh-oh, sinking. Anyway. Sorry you had to hear that. Alright, here comes the memorial procession. That's nice. Yeah. No. Hi. Can I help you? Alright, well, time for the power guard. Clashable guard, please. And then we'll just have Heathcliff probably go for one of these Tide Hunts, and then yeah, and then this should be fine. Go get him. Heathcliff, I swear to God, you didn't have to fail that one. Could you have maybe rolled heads, huh? Maybe then we wouldn't be in this sticky wicket. It's okay, Roger. It's fine. It's fine. You're all right. She's actually perfectly fine. What? Oh. Unironically, might just be better. Might have been better to just. Yeah, where did you get all that? Yeah, that's what's left of it at least, and then oh no. Stop it! I'm asking you very politely to say stop it. Oh. Yeah, don't worry. This is how we tatakai. But anyway, let's see here. So we didn't do that, which means, yeah, we can take the Tidebreaker Lance and then here, and then we can probably go for one of these attacking. Oh, we'll just go gambling on that one then, shall we? And then we can go here, and then here. Yeah, it should be fine.
대가리 딱 떼도
히어! 아르카나 빛!
Excellent. Yes, good. Good. And then he's just on the cusp of actually getting. Ooh! 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 Yeah, baby. That's how we do it. Stay gambling. Stay winning.
戦闘の準備を
Yeah, this ought to be fine. And then, yeah, we'll just, yeah, we'll be fine. What? What are you doing?
먹기 좋게 차려졌지 않나
Alright. Yeah, I think we'll be able to bring him down on that second try. Unless if he's got something else up his sleeves, but I think we'll be good. Maybe a one-sided guard on Rajan Dawn's side of things, and maybe one from Heathcliff. So then we can get the Dulahanyu. Seems like a fantastic idea. In fact, let's just go for a, yeah, give it all you got. Give me the whale.
본인이 하지!
Oh no.
조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가
Alright.
모든 것을 쳐부술 거다
Alright, but once I beat this, I might
ドクターのよう
I might just retire for the I'm a tuckered young man.
にが優勢です今こそ勝機を
Hello, yes, I would like to just hit the damage button and win. Goodbye. Yeah, come and clash with all this, yes, you bastard. Oh, this might not actually end well. Ah, we could probably just brute force the rest of the way there.
하니까 닥쳐라
So long, everybody! Oh no! Oh no, this was a mistake! I've made a comical series of errors in my grid! I've made a continuous lapse in judgment! Alright, well, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, this is completely unopposed. Well, then in that case, yeah, we'll just do this. Begin. Hajime. Well, alright then. Excellent work, Roger. No. No, don't have a phase 2. That's illegal.
なんだかただならぬ
What is this? Slay the ocean, slay the ocean. Okay.
이 또한 지식이 되도록
Help! Scotty! Anyone? Scotty!
지식을 마주하고 경영하라.
Alright, let's see here. The knight rides upon the violently whinnying steed. Sorry, Skyward, the knight races across the sea, splitting ways. We won't stall him, please, just for a second. Need a moment to recover. Go for the legs, not his lance. Who can put a stop to the knight's charge? Go forth! Dawn! Dawn. It's not that I expected better, it's that we really needed better. Maybe just an Arcana Pierce and then one of these, and then maybe, just maybe. Do I have any other method of healing? You know what? Let's use the Superbia, please. Hello, yes, I would like one shot of Superbia.
이 또한 지식이 되도록.
Please don't die, Yisang. You're very important to me. And also, please don't stagger Heathcliff. I can't believe that he got a free, that he had a stage 2. I mean, I should have anticipated that. I really should have. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, that's right. Just keep rolling. Right? Stop it. Don't stab my donkey. Get out of here. You smell. Alright, well this is a little concerning. Alright, Dawn can clash with at least this. Nah, actually maybe with that one. Then Heathcliff probably shouldn't, but then you can go with this. Rajia's amount. Okay, she's also got 2 colds, so... choices. Well, if we got a Hex now, we might as well Hex now. No need of that, or why don't we just go for that and then hop on Dullahanyo. We're probably gonna lose Honglu, but you know what? That's a small price to pay. Oh no. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But you know what? That's neither here nor there, and we still have Faust in play, so we'll just Please don't spam Slay the Ocean, I'm begging you. Let's go with... Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay, but we'll have to... This is where the fighting begins. But we've got a little time before he does his Slay the Ocean. Unbreakable coins! No! Yeah, there we go. And then one of these ought to keep everything back in line. Yeah, we ought to be okay. Even with a Slay the Ocean. Okay, never mind. Apparently that's dealing a lot of damage. Damn it. Alright, come on. Somebody has to stop him. Rajia, I believe in you. Thank you. My special girl. Oh, the gathering here to defeat the knight. He belongs to the sea. Yada yada. High-pitched, powerful, resonant cries. Reversed Arcana Slave? Sure, why not? Ah, okay. Like the Knights of the Backstreets, they won't stop coming. Struggle, lost the Knight's Corpus. That's nice. Okay, so who can clash with that thing reliably? Dimension Shredder? Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, and then let's go for a, you guessed it, stay frozen, and there will be no pain. And then, we're too frozen up. Ugh. Plus, of course, how much do I need for another, need 2 more lusts for a fluid sac. That's a little concerning. But we can do Pursuance, which will, I very much hope, succeed on the thingy. And then we'll just, go for, another offset. Offset, power guard. Yeah, it should be fine. Oh no. Please don't hit my poor girl. Okay. Okay. Alright, whatever. Pursuance, save me! Ah! Ah! Don't worry, Mr. Salt will be fine. He could take a little being frozen.
넌 반드시 부서진다.
That still dealt 165 and we won the clash. I'm very concerned. Envy resonance. Yeah, so let's just not deal any envy damage, please and thank you. And then we go for this, and then we go for, yeah, we'll just keep rolling with the favoreds. Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully this will be enough. Go get him, Yisung. Ugh. He's just so strong. He just doesn't want to go down. Oh no, hey, no, yeah, there wasn't. You know, whatever. Just don't break Faust, please. I kind of need her alive. I swear, we'll bring you down eventually. Like, he's on the cusp. I'd say a few more and we might just be able to clutch this one out. Yeah, I think we're gonna make it. Do I go for it again? Did I win? Did I learn my lesson? Maybe. But more importantly, probably not. Yeah, okay, we'll go for dominating on that one, because that's, it's a little concerning. You know what, heck with it. Yeah, no, we're all just gonna go for it. 52, yeah, that should be enough. Even with... Ah, thank goodness. Please tell me that was the end. Yay! Despite my best efforts, we managed to win. I've had rounds, the lamp's almost out too. We're holding it back for now, but we won't last much longer. No BS I could last. Lighthouse, not so much. What difference does that make? The sinners were reeling from the battle against this enemy who was more like a force of nature than a human. Without giving us much time to breathe, the knight fixes the spear and begins charging us again. It didn't take very long for the severity of the situation to dawn as I quickly begin to rack my head for a desperate wish. What can I do here? What can I do? That's when through the mist the black space begins to envelop my vision once again. Wait, this is just like, and from the dark light shines again. I reach out toward it and see it, unlike in the earlier phenomenon, which was focused entirely and powerfully on Scotty, a single individual, what I saw this time was an unfamiliar place called Casimir's. This place was filled to the brim with the things that Don Quixote would lose her mind over, like knights and their countless fans, an arena in which to test one's mettle. But the one in Amiya's thoughts sits far from all that glory in a very mundane-looking office. He wears a well-kempt set of clothing, while his eyes are, with a slight squint, focused on reading the newspaper. The man looked more like an office worker than a knight, but the most radiant part of that scene was a banner hanging on the wall and a sword. Don Quixote was the first sinner who came to mind. Can she, our ardent admirer of knights and pursuer of glory, spin that energy from his sword as her own? Wait, no, he's different. He's... Indeed, I need someone who doesn't pursue glory, someone who can handle their own tarnished glory. The sinner who could detachedly wield the entirety of their bygone honor is... Yes, there's just one. I trust you, Gregor. Use this ego to hew into that knight's charge. Split the waves. I like to split the waves, huh? I hear you, Manager Bud. Let's do this. Yeah, third cutscene ego.
이 검은, 이 명예는, 이 영광은 빛바래지 않을 테니.
Excellent. The incandescent golden blades of light surge forth, cleaving through the darkness of the sea. The knight withstands and parries each of those lights away, but he comes to a stop when the last of the golden radiance cuts across the sea and looks in our direction as if to admire it. And finally, the lighthouse makes a low, resonant creaking noise before firing a bright light toward the ocean horizon. Here's has completed the repairs. Oh, the light returneth to its house once more! Silence all, Mares is saying something. I gotta said Mares was peeking out of the window and shouting something at us. Vessel Massas is still near the shores, somewhere in the coastal sea. It's moored somewhere by the beach, somewhere quite a bit of distance away from the village coast. Confirmed, I'll radio Dr. Kalstead immediately. It's all well and good, but what about the monster? What if it charges at the lighthouse again and destroys it? I heard it talk during our battle, but I don't think that creature is capable of actually communicating with them. This'll be a problem. Don Quixote, wait! Don't get too close to it, it's too dangerous! But before we could stop her, Don Quixote had already approached as close as she could to the seaboard, her eyes twinkling. She takes a brief moment to admire the knight in his steam before asking in an energetic tone, "Oh, mighty knight, what is the name of thy noble steed?" Rocinante! Wait, she can communicate with him? Ooh, 'tis quite the coincidence then. My noble steed is also named Rocinante. Who is not a comrade, they are a steed, you say. Forsooth, a steed most fine indeed, and hath served me well over countless adventures of mine, despite its appearance. Yet I must inquire thee, noble knight, why dost thou strike this lighthouse so? Charmla. It was not the waves are darker, more raucous. Perchance there was a tad inconvenient misunderstanding here, then? Good night, I and mine compatriots are now embarking upon an adventure most important, yet with thy obstruction we are unable to do so. Prithee, wilt thou return to whence thou came? Don Quixote regarded the knight with a stance that was at once courteous and brave, and the knight and his steed Rocinante stared wordlessly back at Don Quixote. I wasn't sure if she managed to get through to the knight, or if the knight just lost interest, but they both departed the lighthouse, looking out to the far distance. So they really exist. Seaborns who hope for something other than just survival. Powerful seaborns lurk at sea. Are you alright, Donkey? You should be thankful that it somehow yielded a positive outcome. When are you going to fix that habit of rushing forward without thinking it through? My apologies. While Don Quixote returned the night with that bizarre conversation, Amiya raised her voice happily as though she just received good news. What, Dr. Kalstead, is that true? What's going on? The doctors managed to infiltrate the vessel Massus. They're already done cleaning up the decks. Now they're waiting for the rest of us to arrive. It's been hardly 10 minutes since the lighthouse came on. The doctor's an excellent strategist, and based on what Dr. Kalstead told us, I think they already had some plans in motion before we activated the lighthouse. Oh, great. Let's return to Scotty and join them. We returned to the raft and explained what had transpired. Scotty listened to us quietly before replying in the exact same manner as she did before. Someone's going to have to stay behind. I'll stay. Go find the vessel Massus. You're going to refuse again if we offer help, aren't you? Yeah. And I'll see you after you retrieve the vessel Massus. I'll let the doctor know what happened here. What an oddball. What an odd bird. What a world.
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도. 그러고 보니까 그 환상체 이제 강으로 내려줄 나이가 없어졌지. 다시 관리를 맡겨주실까?
Alright, well, yeah, we still got where to go. But I will probably, let's just buy these. Let's just get these out of the way so as I don't. Let's take a quick look. Oh, I got more things. I got things to customize. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Face the sin, save the ego, but I do like having our, where is it? Happy birthday. Happy birthday! Yay! But first, let's change this real quick. Instead to, Unbrilliant Glory. That's much better, I think. But anyway, I'll probably be back tomorrow with more. Well, we'll finish up the Arknights collab, and then we'll probably do something. I'm not quite sure yet. But either way, I hope that you all had a wonderful time. Thank you all very much for attending. I do sincerely appreciate it. And I'll be back at about noon o'clock MDT tomorrow. So again, thanks for tuning in, and goodbye! Good night! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The Truman Show. Anyway, and bye YouTube. Mwah. Hello, Cassie.